If you're not with me, you are my enemy. Sounds extreme? Well, it certainly is, but funny enough, that is actually the mindset of a lot of narcissists, including myself. We think in black and white. If you're not my friend, you are my foe. There's nothing in between. But why is that? I got a lot of questions recently again about that topic. Why do we only think in black and white? Are we actually capable of thinking in gray? Well, let me explain it to you. Well, in that case, it's not necessarily about manipulation and power. It's about survival, as usual. When we see in gray, or in other words, gray to me means uncertainty. This area in between, which is not defined. In other words, to me it's actually kind of equal to losing control. Not knowing what's going on. Not knowing what is. And for someone whose entire self-worth depends on control, that is actually kind of a terrifying thought. We categorize people extremely fast. So in other words, if you make me feel powerful or seen or admired, then you're safe. But if you question me or challenge me or show emotional ambiguity, then you're a threat. And that is why it's not just if you're not with me, it's also then you are against me. In other words, you're a foe. In my world, something being neutral or something being unclear feels unsafe and like danger. And to be honest, tolerating the color gray here means we are tolerating doubt. In other words, there might be a possibility that we are not right and that people might laugh us and still criticize us. And that is certainly hard to process when your self-worth is actually built like armor. So black and white becomes our defense. It gives us clarity, predictability, and control. But it also isolates us. It kills nuances and it kills closeness. And this is certainly not strength. It is fear dressed up as certainty.